Good evening, everybody. A little late, but better late than never. Running around getting some things done today, taxes and so forth and so forth. But I'm here today, talk some boxing. I'm going to start it off tonight. Brendan will be here. Brendan will be here and chime in as soon as he's doing what he's doing. But tonight, I want to talk about tonight I was about the Charlo brothers. To be honest with you, I like both exciting. One's more exciting than the other. I was more disappointed in the older one than I am, and I've got more love now for the light middleweight than I do the super middleweight, and I mean that. And last night there was Jermell Charlo came out, and he was basically saying that. He was really adamant, very upset, going through the process of getting the fight postponed. What's up, Jesus? Saludos to you, man. Welcome to the chat. Hit that like button if you guys haven't. Basically, he was really adamant and very upset about getting his fight scheduled from, it was originally March the 19th, and it got rescheduled to May 14th due to supposedly a bicep injury by Brian Castano, and he was really upset and angry. One thing I do like about Jamel that I really like about him that his other brother is when he talks about boxing, he's very passionate, and he talks a lot of stuff, but when he's talking about it, he's very passionate and gets upset about a lot of things. And he was basically just calling out things, and he feels that the Castano team was actually calling a bluff for faking the injury. And he actually came down. If you all didn't check it out, go watch Brian Costa, the podcast, and you will see for yourself what I'm talking about. So Jamal came out and basically was saying that he doesn't think that Castano was really injured like he said he was. And then he came out and was showing a lot of videos of him literally like using his injured back bicep to do exercise when he's running in the beach and doing all this other stuff. So he's really upset about that. But at the same time, how you doing, Carl? How's everything, man? God bless. At the same, Brendan will be here in a few. He'll chime in. Basically, he was really adamant because he's like, this is a bunch of bullshit. How you like the before a few weeks before the fight, or you're gonna sit there and say there's an injury. And then I got you on Instagram, you and your manager telling on you that you're out there, running sprints, moving your arms, moving the bicep. That really he claimed that he was hurt, but really he wasn't. So all this I'm gonna tell you right now. And I, what's up, Ordinary Pete? What's going on, man? What's going on, my brother? My son will be here soon, guys. What's up? God bless to all you guys being here. What's going on, Matthew? How's everything? So basically, he's basically saying that all of a sudden you got a bicycle injury, but your own manager is exposing you out there on the beach while you're sprinting with your arm that's supposed to be injured, going on a 45-degree angle, going back and forth. So all this, at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you straight up, when that second fight happens on May 14th, I was favoring Castano. I was favoring Castano because I like what Castano did in the first fight. But I'll be honest with you guys, after I seen that interview and the way he was talking, I think that Jermell Charlo is gonna fuck up. He's gonna go ahead and put a beat on Castano for all this bullshit head games. And then he goes on as the interview goes on. You guys can chime in. Let's see who else here. Yeah, man. You can help. You can do that, man. Because I need help too. What's going on, Ortiz? Pete? Thank you. And basically, what Jamel Charlo was saying is, after all that, like I was saying, I taking Jamel. I think Jamel is gonna do it. Beat this guy down worse than he did to the Harrison fight. And then he goes on and says this is not only the first time this happened. I think when the Harrison fought him, he also had the same. He had to deal with the same bullshit with Harrison getting hurt, with him not being right, this and that. So he's got a lot of anger towards that. And then he also goes on in the live. He says he's one of those type of fighters that he loves, to do it the right way, to get drug tested when you're supposed to get drug tested while the camps on. He said he's going to 8-week camps, and he didn't even know nobody's actually asked him about, when are you going to get tested? So, of course, Jermell came out and said, hey, he went and asked for he literally asked for Al Haymon's advice. Like, hey, you know what? We need to, where's the testing? What's going on? Why we're not getting tested? The WBC came out and said, or the Contenders say, no, you should request it a month ago. He goes, what kind of shit is this? A month ago? This never happened in my life before. How are you gonna tell me that I have to request it a month ago before the contract when you know while we're training we're supposed to get tested certain times of the weeks that we're going through before the fight? So he's basically saying that they're playing. I think he's basically playing head games. He's not with that. And then he also came out and said that Castaño's manager, like he bluffs a lot. He likes to play a lot of head games. He called him a trickster. Jamel Charlo did. He's a trickster. He tried to do the same bullshit with Floyd in the Marana fight and that didn't work. And he said even his fight his first fight with Castaño in the last minute, he wanted to sit there and call out and say that Jamel had the wrong gloves on. So you could tell all this gonna build up, all this frustration he got. He's gonna beat the living he's gonna beat the living dates out of Castaño. I see that coming, and I don't blame him. I can see why he's upset. I see why he should be upset. He said when this fight happens, he needs this fight because he wants to become the unified champion, and all this blocks is only going to build him up for him to go ahead and put a beat on him. And he also was saying that outside the ring, he's had a lot of personal problems, going through some with his children and this and that. So he said, I'm human too. I have problems just like anybody else. So just because you see me here smiling, that I don't have problems just like anybody else. So I like Jamel. Jamel keeps it real all the time and never changes his attitude when he said things. So I like that about him. He said, I'm gonna take on everybody. I don't care who it is. You know what I mean? He just right now focus on Castaño, but watch out. And I really believe that. He's gonna go in there, and I think he's gonna beat the shit out of Castaño, to be honest with you. And then, this fight became more expensive for Al Haymon because Al Haymon had to pay step aside money for the mandatories that Charlo had prior to Castaño getting hurt, and Tim Tszyu was supposed to fight or something like this. So then what Al Haymon had to do was go ahead and he came up with the Tim Tszyu and Gosh fight. So I mean, you can tell he's angry. I don't blame him. He's saying it the way he's calling it. He said he stopped doing a lot of interviews with everybody because people misinterpret the words he's got. So he's not with that shit. He don't want people to say, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not going to sit there and argue with everybody. So why not? I'll just go ahead and do it with one person and leave it like that, So he's got a lot of things to be frustrated about. He's got a lot of things going on. He's human just like us. But he's just saying, as far as the boxing game, he's really upset at the WBC. The WBC claims, he says, I love the WBC, but at this moment, I'm upset at them because they claim to be that they have the clean boxing, whatever it's called, they have drug program. In reality, actions speak louder than words. And the WBC came out. He said basically, I'm a little upset at you guys that I have to go call. My advice is to call you guys to get this shit done. What's up, KS? Hey, KS, you gotta do what you gotta do. You can't pay attention to other fans. You can't. You're going there to enjoy your thing. The whole world's toxic. If you feel that way, the whole world's toxic. You have to have the positive attitude to deal with what you have on and move on. And you get Jamel Charlo, like I said, he's going through a lot of shit. And in boxing, you're already that toxic word, corruption, whatever you want to call it, it's going to be there. It's just that's the way the sport is. It's been like that for years, and it's not going to change, to be honest with you. So. Charlo came out, also was chiming in on he came out and chimed on Crawford. I really didn't like what he said about Crawford, but then I get it. He was telling Crawford, you're free to do what you want. You should go ahead and fight. He actually, the way I see him, he actually was pushing more for the Spence fight with Crawford. You know what I'm saying? And Crawford can do whatever you want. But he said, what you should do is negotiate your fight with Spence. Fight that fight, and then you can do whatever you want. You're still a free agent. You're still going to make money, whatever the outcome, And then Brian Costa talked to Charlo and literally came on and asked him. He's like, "What do you think about Spence?" And he said, "Spence is like me, my brother. He's a dog. He's a lion. He's gonna go in there and you know, he's gonna put up a good fight with Crawford, and I believe that he can beat Crawford. His inside, you know, his inside game is good. He can break him down. So he really has a lot of belief in Spence, and he should, because they've been the three amigos for who knows how long. So he's very adamant about that. He was just telling Crawford what to do. But I'll be honest with you, Crawford can do whatever the hell he wants. Crawford's undisputed, and he acknowledged that. He gave him his props, so I'm not hating on Charlo. He says, yeah, Crawford is undisputed. I'm trying to get mine down here, and I'm going through all this stuff. So I'm not taking that away from you, but you need to step up and fight Spence. And I personally disagree. I think that the fight's going to happen eventually. Spence came out and said it, but I mean, he's a free agent. He can do whatever he wants. He's got a great resume. Then he even came out and said, you can come see me if you want to, but you don't want none of me at 154. Oh, I see. So you don't want none, you don't want none of me. That's what he's about. If you come up here, fight me right off the bat and don't fight nobody, you're gonna be in trouble. So you gotta love the attitude that Charlo brings into the game. The way he comes in there, he's not afraid to take it on nobody. He's passionate what he says, and what he says, he really means it. You know what I mean? So I mean, he's got a lot of things. Let me check out all the comments we got here. What's going on, Jose? All right, what's going on, man? How you doing, man? God bless. Yeah, AKS, you gotta keep it boxing, but at the same time, it's the same thing in the boxing world as it is, or in the boxing media, or as it is in the channels. There's gossip in the real world, whether in the workplace or whatever, or wherever you're at, there's gonna also be gossip. It's about how you carry yourself, what you gotta do. And you can pick out, you can use your own judgment and reason to see who the real deals are and who the bullshit is. Okay, what's up, Miami Kid J? I mean, you already know. Jermell's gonna protect his brother, just like any Jermell is gonna protect his brother, just like any twins do. You know what I'm saying? That goes without saying. That's not gonna change. What's going on? Hold on. That's not gonna change. And you have to see it that way. He's gonna protect him any way he wants. And right, I mean, he came out and even said, you know, my brother's going through a lot of crap right now, but I think he can beat Benjamin. He's gonna believe in him regardless of that, just like he believes in Spence. A lot of us might agree with that, what he said, statement, or we might disagree with his statement. But at the end of the day, we all have an opinion on what we want and who we want to win. You know what I mean? Me personally, I love Spence. Spence has done a lot, went across the pond, beat Kell Brook, got the belt. But I'm sorry, and I'm gonna say it again. I am sorry. He is not about Crawford. Crawford to me is a killer. Crawford is a finisher, and we really don't know what we're gonna see from Spence when he comes back. But let me get back to Jermell, then we get back to Spence. It's in the conversation the same way. Jermell also, to be honest, Jermell was also coming out about Canelo. He would tell Canelo too. He was going out for everybody. He would tell Canelo too. You can get some too. You want something, you can get some too. So he letting everybody know, you know, I ain't scared of nobody. He said, but he did say, I'm not gonna just fight all these young guys coming up now. You know, I'm not gonna fight you know, fighting all these guys that want to call up to us. I'm 31 years old. I know the game, and I'm right now. I'm looking for what's the best interest for me right now. And I mean, he called it right. I mean, he's been in the game long enough. I don't think I know all the young bucks that are coming up with his Ortiz, Ennis, Errol for the other weight class and so forth. All the young guys calling out these big names, but they got to stay in line, and they got to go ahead and you know, take a ticket. The same thing he said about Danny Garcia. He came out and said, Danny Garcia, said, Garcia, you did what you did. I respect you at all. You've done this, you've done that. But you know what? You're gonna come to 154. You gotta take a ticket and go at the end of the line. That's just the way it is. He said, if I had to earn my way, I didn't just get here easy. You think I'm gonna give you a free ride just because you're Danny Garcia? So I mean, he was talking real about a lot of stuff on the podcast. Y'all need to go check it out. Well, we run out. Jamel Charlo, unfortunately, didn't get to fight with if Canelo would have signed with PBC, I mean Jamal, if Canelo would have signed with PBC, then he probably would have got that fight with Benavidez. But I'll be honest, if he does fight Benavidez, or that fight ever happens, which I don't think is going to happen anyways, because I see the Benavidez camp talking about that. I'm not Benavidez. Eddie Hearns was saying that the next fight possibly be Andre with Benavidez. You know what I mean? So whatever. Jamal, I don't know where he's going to be at. I think it'd be a great fight. It'd be a step up for him. And if he got in there with Benavidez, you know what? And he beats the shit out of Benavidez, you know what? He gave me respect. He won me back, because right now I'm really disappointed in the older brother. But I wish him the best. We all go through things in life, so so be it. Okay, it says I think Spence needs a knockout on Ugas to get the hype back. I don't, like I said, my question with Spence is, and I'll say it again. He's got to. I don't know how he really he's been out of the gym for what, out of the real ring, the lights, for 2 years. He's got to have some ring rust. He says that his eyes are fine, this and that, but we won't really know until he really gets hit by Ugas. Ugas, very Cuban defensive fighter. That I feel that's going to be hard for Spence to break him down like that. I think he's going to fight. If Spence was going to be on a UD, it's not going to be come for a knockout. Yeah, so I gotta respect everything Jamel said. I like the way what he's saying. He's just frustrated with everything, with the politics and everything. But I'm telling you, when he called out his manager and showed the videos, he says, you know, who does this? What kind of manager has no common sense? He even said at one time, I guess one of the fights that he had, that is Castaño's manager was really intoxicated. And then Castaño put out a video on Fight Hype. He's doing good. He's doing this. I didn't bother watching the whole freaking thing. I just know that come fight night, I had Castaño winning the second fight again. But guess what? But I've seen how Jermell Charlo was talking. I'm going for Jermell to put him out. Seriously, put him out real quick. One that says I think Jermell can knock out Crawford only if Crawford is standing there and not doing anything other than that he is already panicking. I don't know. I don't think so. I think I don't think he's panicking at all. Jermell can go in there, and if he was to fight him, it'd be a good fight. But I just like the dog. Me personally, I just like the dog. And Crawford, and you're absolutely right. The movement that Crawford does, changing from southpaw to orthodox. If you don't finish up, if you don't hit Crawford hard enough, or make him come down in the first couple of rounds, and you just have one set speed, he's gonna eat you up alive. And what I like about Crawford, and I've always said that I only picked him one time against him. I'm gonna do it again. If he pushes to the limit, that's when the real dog comes out of him. So, I mean, I'm telling you right now, Crawford is gonna destroy whoever gets in front of him. More so now. I mean, he respects what Jamel is saying, but you know, at the same time, you know, there's levels to his game. And not saying Jamel's not right, but about Spence and stuff, because he's gonna support who Spence is. But at the end of the day, he's gonna do what he's gonna go in there, and I think Crawford will still beat him. I don't think that what Jamel said about Spence taking about Crawford just taking the fight, because it's the money issue. That's what it really comes down to. I don't know which one of the fighters wanted more than the other, or 50-30 or 30-40. I don't know what the whole deal is, and I think that's the issue. But if I'm undisputed already, if I was undisputed already, I came to 145, 147, and I beat the shit out of a lot of people, and I beat them like possible. Like I let them know, like I'm gonna finish you, and I have that on my resume. I don't think Crawford should take just whatever 50 or lesser than Spence. To me, Spence is good, but Spence ain't no Crawford, in my opinion. What's going on, Rico Ransom? How you doing, man? We're talking about Jermell Charlo. He had an interview on the Standing, I think it's Standing podcast, and with Brian Costa, and he was going off on a lot of things. He was talking about Castaño's team, you know, cheating, making excuses about his bad bicep, but then Castaño's own manager puts out a video on Castano running around and doing wind sprints on the beach with his bicycle supposed to be torn up. So he's really adamant about it, and I think he's gonna whip the shit out of Castano. What's up, buddy? Love, how you doing, man? Yeah, like I don't know if you just heard me what we're talking about. We're talking about Jermell Charlo, the smaller father of Jermell Charlo, coming out. He recently had a interview where he basically, you know, was calling out everybody, let everybody know, like you know, I'm tired of these games, his gamesmanship crap. And Castano's team has been playing on his gamesmanship that he's frustrated with. He was wondering why he didn't get drug tested and so forth and so forth. And he's like, I never had that. So like he had to go to one of Al Heyman's advisors and ask him the question, you know, to question Castano's team why we're not getting done about testing. And they came out saying, oh no, the commission came out, oh no, you have to wait. WBC came out, oh, you're supposed to request it a month before the training. He's like, you're out of your mind. I never seen that in my life. So he's frustrated. I guarantee he's gonna put a beating on him, probably worse than what he did. And no disrespect to Harrison, because I like Harrison. Yeah, I see that. And then he also was, you know, lobbying. He said he'll take on Crawford. If Crawford really wants to come up here at the 154, better come on. He wouldn't. He said you would just chill out and you know, do your thing with Spence, and then come whenever you can, then work on yourself up to 154, and then we'll see what's gonna happen. I don't think Crawford's gonna wait for all that shit. I think Crawford's gonna come in there and do what he's gonna do. He's gonna go in there and make the choices he's got to make. There's a reason why nobody wants to fight him. So hopefully, if Spence beats Ugas, which most likely probably will, that fight can happen. That's a big fight that people are waiting for. So we'll see what happens with that, you know. And then to talk to his brother, Jamel, the bigger brother. Apparently, Jamal's team offered Jaime Munguia fight. You know what I mean? And Jaime Munguia was set to fight. I think he was gonna go fight. Let's see. He can fight Lim McConnelly. What his name is? Zenek Beck Ani Bakali. He's got for the WBO interim belt. So he's got a choice. He can go for the WBC strap from he can go for the WBC strap. McGear can go for the WBC strap from Charlo. Just get it straight up, or he can just go for the WBO interim title of I can't say his name. You know what I'm talking about. Zanik Beck Amir McConnelly. So we'll see what McGear does. He has those two options. Or another thing that I was reading, he could literally just say, you know, screw those two options, and I'm gonna wait for old man Gigi now that I'm calling him out. But I mean, you can't count your for the IBF the IBF title that Gigi got. You can't count your hats because Gigi it's got to fight Murata. Who's to say Murata won't beat the shit out of him, take that title away from him? Then what you gonna do? I mean, so McGear's team got a lot of things they got to do. They've been actually, you know, trying to string him along with this fight and that fight, and he looked decent against Bowler and the other guy, but those guys are not Charlo, are not Gigi, and definitely not, you know, Amakali. Okay. That's a good point, Rico Ransom. I totally agree with what you said there. I really agree with what you said there. With Charlo beats, he's gonna put a beating on him. It's gonna be worse, more so than what he's angry about all these head games they're playing. And I got Bud just like you said, and yeah, if Harrison gave Charlo a problem, imagine what Crawford's gonna. You right about that. So, and I totally agree with you on that point. Juan says you ain't gonna let me live that down. I don't know if you're married or not, but if you're not, your time will come, brother. I was just like my wife made me some food and everything during the live. So what am I supposed to do? You know? Yeah, Joe 56984. Yeah, because Tanya's going definitely to sleep. I ain't gonna lie, man. I thought before I seen the interview from Jamel, my son wasn't, but I was writing. I was literally writing with Castano. But you know what? I can't write with him after what Charlo was talking, calling everybody out, frustrated about all kinds of stuff. That Charlo, I mean, no disrespect to the what's going on over there. My prayers to the Ukraine and what's going on in Russia. But let me tell you right now, Charlo's coming here to go to war. And let me tell you, when he lets those punches go, when he lets that let's go AR what you call the rifle go and the bills go, they ain't stopping. It's gonna be just like a machine. He's here to make a statement, and he wants to be undisputed. So y'all better watch out. Yeah, Carl. I forgot. Good point you brought up what it says. I think I forgot this one guy here that just got there was one guy. I don't know that guy. I should have wrote his name down. He's got Al Heyman had to pay another guy because Jermell Charlo owns IBF and I think it's WBA. He had to pay mandatory money to step aside money to somebody. I couldn't pronounce his name. For Charlo to even have a shot at this fight with Castano. So this fight has cost a lot for what's the name, Al Heyman, but at the same time it's a high risk, high risk, low reward. I mean, just think about it. If Charlo beats the fuck out of Castano, which I think he's gonna do after the interview, and become undisputed, man, the sky's the limit for Al Heyman for spending that money and paying the step aside money. Yeah, buddy. My son was telling me the same thing. My son told me once. Wherever Andre goes, before he goes to any weight division, there's always never movements, nothing. Everybody's political, getting the fights they want, do the thing. But as soon as he starts leaving one division, he goes to another division that he's under. The domino starts to move back and forth. And so I absolutely agree with what you said. That's a good point that you're bringing up because my son brought it out also. Let me see. Okay, let's get this out of here. I think I'll be honest. I think Jamel Charlo is gonna knock him out cold. Like I say, cold. When I say he's gonna hit this kid, he played all these games, and then he, like I said, well, he's going through the personal problems. He even brought it out on the live that he's going through a divorce with child custody of his 12-year-old son. He said, "You all don't know. You all don't know what I'm going through. I'm dealing with outside the ring. I'm dealing with all this, the stuff going on for my son in the court. But I'm still here doing this. We're warriors, no matter what. I'm telling you, all that aggression he got going through that case." I don't know if y'all ever been married, go through a divorce. Sometimes it's a nasty divorce or whatever the case may be, or child custody. Believe me, all that anger he's got, I'm telling you right now, he gonna talk his shit and he's gonna back it up. Yeah, so that's big. Jamel, what he's done. I hope Jamal gets back on the bike and actually get the fight he won. I don't think McGee is gonna fight Jermell Charlo. I think he'll go fight what's his name? What's his name again? McCauley. I think he'll fight him for the WBO. If he's waiting if he's thinking he's gonna fight GG, or he's looking past GG winning against Murata, he's definitely dead wrong. He better not even count his eggs until they hatch. Chickens before they hatch, because I'm telling you right now, Murata's no joke. He's gonna be fighting in his backyard in Japan. Good luck. Hey, what's up? The champion's here. What's up?
What's good, Pops? How you feeling? You all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just talking about what's going to happen and this and that. You go ahead and chat me if you want and say what you got to say.
So first and foremost, let me say shout out to everyone out there. It's the untouchable True School Sports Empire. Good to be here again. Pops holding it down while I get some work done. But yeah, man. As far as Charlo versus Crawford is concerned, I haven't listened to the whole interview, so you probably know a little bit more about it than I do. But I did see the one part where he talked about Crawford. And look, man, I think we should just take the Errol Spence Crawford fight, chuck it in the bin. Give me this fight. I want to see this fight because there's more history on the line for this fight. That's first and foremost. There's more history on the line for this fight. If Charlo beats Castano, right? We're talking about if Crawford were to fight Charlo, and Charlo is undisputed, we're talking about Terence Crawford trying to become a 2-division undisputed champion. Then on top of that, we're talking about Charlo making his first defense as undisputed champion against Terence Crawford, a pound for pound top guy, arguably the #1 guy in the sport. So, and could you imagine, Pops? Could you imagine the press conferences? Could you imagine the face-offs? Just how intense it would be?
Yeah.
Come on, man! Like this is the fight we need to see. On top of that, too, could you imagine like if Charlo is to actually do what he said he would do? Like if he actually does knock Terence Crawford out, you know how good that makes him look. Being that he's the guy that knocks out Terence Crawford and takes his O. I mean, I don't see why he's trying to play matchmaker. Like, if you can knock Terence Crawford the fuck out, you should take it as the ultimate form of disrespect. Like, take it as disrespect and be like, you know what? This guy who turned pro at 135, who's a welterweight, thinks he can come to 154 and fuck with me? Mr. Keep running your mouth? That's what he needs to do. He needs to take it as disrespect. I don't want to hear about he got to fight this guy, fight that guy. You beat Castano. He needs to stop running his mouth. Mr. Keep running your mouth. Mr. Keep running your mouth needs to stop running his mouth. And he needs to fight Terence Crawford. I'm not trying to hear it.
Yeah, I mean, that'll be a great fight. At the same time, we're going to say, I lost my train of thought. Go ahead, Brendan. My mind just went.
Anyway, I wanna just get to some comments, man. I want to get to these comments because I see a lot of comments. I want to acknowledge them. By the way, guys, shout out to you guys if you're joining us. KS says too much personal shit these channels bring up when these boxers keep it boxing. Yeah, I mean, people get real toxic. It is what it is. But we don't do that here on True School Sports. I mean, I have my opinions of a lot of fighters, but I don't get personal. Like if I don't like Canelo, it's just boxing related. I don't know him in real life, so I can't say I hate the guy. I don't know him. From meeting him, he actually seemed pretty cool. A good big man beats a good little man. But listen, sometimes sometimes a little man is great, and Terence Crawford ain't no good little man. He's a great little man. Yeah. And Charlo, we don't know. Maybe some people think Charlo's a very good good big man. They don't know if he's a great big man. So listen, I want to see the fight. It could be one of those many fights of in boxing history where a great small fighter goes up and challenges a really good big fighter, and we get a great fight from it. I don't see what the problem is. You know what I'm saying? Talk is cheap. Absolutely. We told y'all a long time ago in 2021. 2022, we got to set a new standard of boxing. It's the year of no excuses and no dishonor. So if he can actually beat Castano, which, by the way, is a huge, huge if. If he could beat Castano and he's undisputed, what fight could Charlo make that's bigger than this fight?
Yeah, listen, man. Brandon, I was going for Castano, but after I seen that podcast, I'm going for Jamel.
I didn't see it, so like give me a rundown, Pops, because I'm gonna watch it tonight before I go to sleep. But give me a rundown. What was said and why are you excited?
He was upset about a lot of things. He was saying that the same thing happened to him when it fought. You can refresh my mind on this one. He was saying that he actually went. I must say I hit it by accident.
No, that was me. That was me.
He was saying that the same shit happened with him when he was supposed to fight Harrison. He had to go through the same bullshit. Harrison got an injury and blah, 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 blah. And now it's happening again with this guy. So then he goes on and he calls out Castano's manager and said that he calls him, he says he's a trickster. He tried to play the same shit with Floyd Mayweather when he fought Madonna. I say before the fight, the first fight with Castano, he told him that he told the commissioner that I had the wrong gloves on. So he's tired. So he's really frustrated about that. So he was just telling him I'm tired of. Then he says you have an injury, but then your manager tells on you and goes on Instagram and he's got you seeing you on the beach doing wind sprints. If you have a problem with your bicep, you're not gonna be able to go 45 angles.
Yeah, you're not gonna be going like this, running.
Yeah. So he said all that. Then he says, never in his life, while he's in training, he's always seen them get tested before the fights, right? He's saying this fight. He said he was sitting the whole time waiting to get his training and everything. He's waiting for them to tell him what they're going to testify is when they're going to test him. So he goes out and he calls one of Ellis Heyman's advice and he asks him, listen, man, find out why we're not getting tested, Yeah. And the WBC comes out and says, you're supposed to request that a month before you go to training. He said, what kind of shit is this? He was just going off.
Yeah.
He said he's willing to fight. He was telling the Spence fight, of course, because they're good friends and everything. He was basically saying Crawford should just shut up and stop worrying about anything else. Just go ahead and fight Spence and go from there. Then you can come up at the 154 if you want, and you know, do your thing, take your number, whatever. But you got to go ahead. Why don't you just make that fight and that's it? So I don't think so. I think that Crawford, me personally, I think Crawford can do whatever the fuck he wants. You know what I mean? And then he went opposite about Danny Garcia. He said, I don't care about Danny. I respect Danny Garcia. I like Danny Garcia. He said, but if you're gonna come up here thinking it's your name, you're gonna be back there, take a number and wait in line like everybody else. That's what he was saying. And then he said, he was willing to fight Canelo too. He said, I'll fight Canelo. He said, I'm going through a lot of shit outside the court. You know, outside. I'm human just like you guys. Outside, with trying to fight for my 12-year-old custody and everything. So I got a lot of shit going on. You know. So.
Jamel, but doesn't he have, like, I mean, I'm not trying to get into his personal life, but doesn't he, are all those kids that he has not from the same woman or no?
I have no clue from what. I don't. Apparently not. If he's fighting for custody for his 12-year-old. All
right, well, hey, we all go through something, right? We all go through things in life, so hopefully things go well for him. But
so he basically was saying, you know, I'm human like you guys. You need to see this, and you know, I can't wait for this fight. In May, you know, I can't wait for this fight because you pushed it back for no reason, and you know it's bullshit. I want my belts. I want to be unified, and I have to wait another time. You know, I'm out doing my thing. So he just got a lot of frustration and anger for it. I don't blame him. And he called out the.
Well, listen, man, that's probably not a good thing because you know last time Charlo had a frustration and anger, he knocked out Jason Rosario with a jab. So I don't know that's a good thing to upset Mr. Keep Running Your Mouth because this is a guy. I can't believe I'm such a fan of this guy now because I used to really dislike Jermell Charlo like back in the day.
Yeah.
It's hard not to like him. But I will say this: he should fight Crawford. Did he talk more about like fighting Crawford, or was that the only thing he said?
No, he was just saying that Crawford. He was basically just saying like Crawford come up here at 154, but he gonna face me. He gonna face me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he basically saw. Somebody else can chime in if they seen the whole thing too. Maybe I forgot something, but he basically was just saying to Crawford, like, you know, to stop doing all this. You know you're good, and fight Spence, and then you can come up here whatever you want to do. I basically got other options, but I disagree with that because bottom line, I think Spence has a lot of money behind that. So both of them are probably the percentage of it is what's costing the fight not to happen just yet, you know? Yeah. But, I mean, if he goes up there and Crawford, if he fights Crawford and him, that'd be a good fight. Like you said, I didn't even think
a great fight. The press conference and the build-up alone be worth it.
Oh my God!
Because you know, Charlo's gonna run his mouth and be entertaining, and then you know Crawford. If Charlo starts running his mouth, Crawford's not gonna back down from him because he's like extremely competitive. So it's just gonna be all the way around from the fight to the build-up. It would just be a great fight for the sport.
Oh, definitely. I think that'd be great. You need that right now too. Right now, and it won't be no politics. I don't think it'll be that politics as long as it.
And the thing that would excite me about Crawford being at 154 is that, you know, no disrespect to anybody else 154, but for once we'd finally have an A-level fighter 154 because at 154 all we got is B-, B, and B+ guys. That's why the belts keep getting passed around so much because there's no clear-cut definitive A-level fighter.
Well, I'll tell you what, whether he fights Crawford or not, or he becomes undisputed, I don't think nobody in 154 can beat him. I'll be honest with you. Who, besides Crawford coming up,
what about? What do you think about Crawford versus Sebastian Fundora?
No,
it's a 6'7", the giraffe.
Yeah. Crawford break him down and beat him down like a pole. I think so. I don't see nobody beating. And then he was talking about the young guys like Virgil Ortiz and all these young guys that want to fight and move up. And
listen, man, I'm gonna tell Charlo what I tell everybody about Virgil Ortiz. But why are we talking about Virgil Ortiz versus Crawford? He got to worry about Michael McKinson next weekend.
Yeah, but exactly. So he just sound like Darren Morrell or whoever. He said, "Oh, you guys are good. I've been there. I've been in the game for 20. You have to just wait your turn. Your time's gonna come, but not right now. Not with me. I ain't with that." So that frustration is really in there about this whole thing and whatever's going on. So
yeah, I've met him. I haven't talked to this guy in years, but I know I've met Castaño's manager.
Yeah,
years ago. Cortuzzi, Sebastian Cortuzzi. That's his name.
He says he's crazy and plays a lot of head games and stuff. And he ain't with that bullshit.
I mean, look, I met him one time. He was nice to me, but he seemed like a crazy guy.
Yeah, well, he did say like one time with one of the fights, the guy was really drunk and stuff and not really carrying himself the way he should. So he was just calling it the way it is, man. You know, I just want to see Jamel get his due.
Shout out to my guy Hyro. Hyro says, I'm glad Pop sees the light. Screw Castaño. He can't fight in the center of the ring, only against the ropes. He didn't even look impressive against Charlo. His manager was with Maidana. Yes, his manager is Sebastian Cortucci. I met Sebastian Cortucci myself back in 2016 at the WBC convention. I used to have his number, but I don't got it no more. But I used to have it. I wish I still had it. I would call him. But yeah.
Then he was just lobbying for his brother. Hopefully his brother gets a fight. Where he fights. Then I brought the discussion now of Munguia. Munguia got a lot of options now.
That's a good point. Munguia is now they're talking about Munguia fighting Jermell Charlo. What do you think about that matchup, Pop? Munguia versus Jermell Charlo? Because to me, the way I see that fight, it's a good fight, but I see that fight as two guys that will both lose and are both scared to death of Demetrius Andrade. That's how I see that fight.
Yeah, see how you want to see. I respect your opinion, but I think Jamel Charlo's gonna fuck him up. Serious as that. I think Jamel Charlo, as much as he disappointed me, he gonna. I want Jaime Munguia to get beat the fuck down.
I hate to tell you, Pops, I'm gonna disagree with you on that one.
Okay.
I think Jaime Munguia will beat Jamel Charlo.
You think so?
Yeah. I think the Eric Morales trained version of Munguia is going.
Oh, you do like that? You did tell me. You've been telling me that.
Yeah. I don't listen. I don't hate Munguia. I don't hate a lot of these fighters. I think Munguia is a really good fighter. I just want to see him tested in there. But I think Charlo would be a good fight. If he could fight Charlo and beat him, then that would show me that, you know what, hey, he could be somewhat of a challenge for Andrade. You know, Andrade beat the shit out of that dude.
I don't know how true it is, but I was reading this in one of the articles. Sometimes they were saying also he had an option to fight McCauley. Was it McCauley or
Johnny Beck? Yeah, because the WBO ordered the fight a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, he said he could have that, or he can just forget both him and Charlo and McCauley and go after old man GG. But that don't make no sense.
Well, GG, he's tied up with Murata.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't think he's gonna do that. I think he's gonna go for but basically they probably were basing that article probably just based it on the fact that he was
Melvin says, you crazy, Munguia is not beating Charlo. We'll see, man. You know, I mean, Charlo has a better jab than Munguia, but I don't know, man. I saw some things in that Montiel fight that just it makes me like Munguia's chances a lot. Obviously, Charlo is a good boxer. He's got a fantastic jab. He's strong for the weight class, but there was a lot of flaws I saw in that Montiel fight that if Munguia get in there with him, I think Munguia at this stage of his career is good enough to beat him.
You don't think like you always say, it's always levels to fight. You don't think that Charlo's gonna go in there and with everything going on, I'm really, I'm upset about him because I lost a lot of faith in him because he fought all these little, people that went up to his level. But to see him come up and the fight happens, I think that'd be great, man. He needs something to get him going again.
Yeah.
If they fight, I got Charlo.
I mean, shout out to my guy TBE Boxing. You know, he knows his stuff. Make sure y'all go subscribe to TBE Boxing. He says, I'm going with you on this one. Munguia beats Charlo. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, man. Like,
are you serious? Is he serious?
Yeah, because look, I think people have an overinflated view of Jermell at 160. Jermell was a killer at 154 when he was bigger than everybody, when he fought Williams. Okay. But when he moved up to 160, I mean, the best fight he had so far was Derevyanchenko. I don't take nothing away from him. Beating Derevyanchenko was a good performance, but Munguia is bigger than Derevyanchenko. He's younger than Derevyanchenko. He's fresher than Derevyanchenko. He throws more punches than Derevyanchenko. He's stronger than Derevyanchenko. I would love if Munguia and Golden Boy and the fine folks over there, if they want to make that fight happen and see what he's made of, I'm all about that smoke. I want to see if Munguia is as good as I think he is. Because I'll tell you this, if Munguia can't beat Charlo at 160, he better stay the fuck away from everybody else.
Yeah,
everyone else. You can't beat Charlo at 160.
I don't know. I might be mad at Charlo. I think Charlo will fuck. I don't know. I just think Charlo will beat the shit out of Munguia.
Mad Dog H says Munguia will turn Charlo into the lion from the Wizard of Oz.
Oh, you're just crazy guy.
You know, and TBE's telling you right. He's telling you to your face, Pops. Charlo is straight up and down with no special effects. You know, good jab, decent right hand. You know, solid stamina, but nothing. You know, a very good, solid fighter. You know, Pops. We got in boxing. We got great fighters. We got all-time great fighters, and then we got good little fighters. Jermell Charlo is a good little fighter.
Wow.
Munguia is a good little fighter, but Munguia still has upside to potentially become a very good fighter. We don't know yet. There's more room for growth. Charlo is just a good little fighter.
So, are you basing this opinion based on who's training him now, Barrera?
No. I'm basing it on the styles. Charlo, Jermell Charlo's biggest strength is his jab. He's got a nice volume jab, a power jab that keeps his opponents at bay. But Charlo doesn't have a consistent right hand. And I'm letting you know right now, if you don't have no consistent right hand to keep Munguia off of you, you're gonna be in a world of trouble.
Wow, damn! I don't know, but so that's something to talk about for another chapter. What's Harold?
Yeah. He says, Madonna is playing us. He's gonna fight Carlos Adames for the title eliminated because he's number one in the WBC. He is not mandated. He's gonna say, I avoided who my. Oh, he's talking about.
Yeah.
Which fighter are you talking about, Hyro? What do you mean, Madonna? What do you mean? The assassin says Charlo wins that fight easily. You know what? He could. He might. I'm not buying it. I'm speaking to both of the Charlos, Jermell and Jamal. All right. I don't want to hear Jamal say, "Oh, I would knock out Crawford because I'm a knockout artist." Show me. I don't want to hear Jamal say that he would knock out Munguia. Show me. Show me, man. I'm not into hypotheticals. I want to see the fights, and if he does it, full credit.
Actions speak louder than words.
Absolutely, and mind you, Pops. I can't stand Munguia. If Charlo would have knocked out Munguia, I'd be happy about it.
Yeah. So if Gigi and Munguia fight, who would you have?
What up, Sean? Yeah. Hold on, Pops. Hyro was talking about Munguia. He's saying Munguia is gonna say that if he's saying that Munguia is gonna wind up fighting Carlos Adames when all this is said and done. What you think?
Right. I'm gonna go. He'll probably make some bullshit, talk something. But to be honest with you, I think that
I think that would be the safest fight for him because we saw Adames' last fight against Derevyanchenko. He won the fight, he grinded it out, but there's clear stamina problems. I keep hearing these things about Adames where they say like he balloons up in weight in between fights. He don't really live the life when he's not fighting. So. I think that'd be a great fight for Munguia to look good and showcase his skills. But man, if he fights Charlo, I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that Charlo beats Munguia. I think Munguia has what it takes to beat Charlo, and I only like Munguia.
Yeah, I think that what I'm gonna say like this: he's been having a lot of adversity outside the ring and situations that he put himself into. About Jamal, but I think all that's gonna, just like his brother's gonna build up anger inside of him that he's gonna have to let it on somebody. And why not on the golden boy who's supposed to be a star and knock the fuck out of him? I'm going with Charlo.
I don't like either of them, so whoever wins just wins to me.
Yeah.
The assassin DJJ says Munguia is scared of top-level fighters. Exactly why he never fought Boo Boo. Well, I wouldn't say he's scared of top-level fighters. I think Munguia would fight most of these guys. It's Zenith Promotions. It's that dude Beltran. He's the guy that don't want no smoke. Because I had to correct myself, Pops. So when somebody had corrected me, they said, BT, you keep saying it's Golden Boy. It's not Golden Boy. It's Zenith Promotions. So I agree. So but the boo-boo thing, listen, that's just a style he's not ready for. He doesn't have the skill, the experience to deal with it. Why? I know that the handlers are probably thinking, why throw him in there with boo-boo and lose and look really bad doing it and lower his stock when we can protect him, get him some good wins and get him a much bigger fight.
Yeah, that's so true what you're saying there. That's for sure. But I mean, so I just want to see where we know what Jamel is going for. I got him beating Castano. For Jamal, he's got to do something. They got to put him in there. I'm grateful for that.
How was going off? He said Scoo's in there for promotions. They promote Guile Estrada, so it all makes sense because Guile had the whole thing where he got COVID, and then all of a sudden he got COVID, but then his wife's having babies and stuff. So it's craziness with what's going on. So
I mean, that's what I see with the Charles. I want to see what Jamal's gonna do. Another thing that I would see. Go ahead.
No, keep going.
No, another thing that it's another topic that I want to say that Sergio Mora brought up, and I really thought that we talked about it too. The monster either fighting. Bob fella brought up. The Bob fella brought up. He was saying that Sergio Mora said that Bob fella he would like to have a rematch with the monster against Donaire. Donaire.
Donaire, yeah, that'd be a good fight.
Then Sergio Morris said the same thing you would tell me the other night, Brendan, that he said that the best thing for Charlo Tito whether it's Monster or no would be the bigger fight and the better fight. But he wouldn't be upset if it was the Donaire and the Charlo.
That would be like if that fight ever took place with Charlo and the Monster. That's like the Super Bowl boxing for like hardcores. There's no like for the nerds. That's like the fight.
Yeah, but what about Donaire fighting Charlo? What do you think about that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, hold on, brother. Yeah, I would just but the ball follow was bringing out also that Donaire versus Charlo would be
hold on, pops. I want. Can we go back to Charlo versus Munguia?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was like that. Rico Ransom says overrated versus overrated is a nickname for Charlo versus Munguia. He's saying that's how they promote the fight. Overrated versus overrated.
Oh wow.
What do you think?
Well, I think Munguia is more overrated. I think Charlo, the 154 that Brendan was saying was good, I'm still a big fan of Charlo.
Yeah, I like what Sean said. Sean says, by the way, shout out to Sean to tell. Sean says whoever wins that fight isn't overrated, and I would agree with that, because like Charlo at 154 he was killing everybody. When he fought Julian Williams, I along with Sean and many other people thought that Charlo was going to go on to be a star in the sport, and then he got to 160 and he's kind of just like flatlined.
Yeah, but that's because you think that those extra 6 pounds affects his skills in the gym.
No, I just think he got complacent. I think he got to a place in his career where he got complacent and he felt like he didn't have that need to continue proving himself.
Oh wow! Well, he'll definitely prove himself against Munguia. I think so.
Yeah. Well, that's if it can happen. That's if it happens. Hyro says Munguia is going to fold like a bitch. Charlo gonna make him look like Steve Gaffard against Joe Smith. Hey, Hyro, why you gotta take shots at Steve Gaffard, man? Why you gotta do that?
You know him already. Yeah.
He always want to take shots at my boy Steve Gaffard. Boo Boo is dangerous for all the dudes at 160 and 168. Absolutely, we all know that. We all know that. Hopefully, he can win the Zach Parker fight. Because look, I like Boo Boo, but that's not even a gimme. Zach Parker is actually a little bit underrated. I went back and I watched Zach and Zach got some skills.
Yeah, and somebody in the comments saying the same thing. That he says, why is it that once Boo moves up to another division, there's always movement below the division that he left?
The division start going into lockdown quarantine when he moves up.
Yeah, and I was telling him that happens because nobody wants to fight him, but when he's in the division he's at, so once he gets out of there, there's opportunity for all these fighters. We're seeing it now. You know what? Like
my problem is, Pops, is like if he was really this like, because it seems like he's a nuisance to the boxing industry in the world. If he's someone that is like they just want to move out the way, just put him in a fight that he's gonna lose and get him out the way. Then like.
Yeah.
The problem is there's no real fight at 160 or 168 where you could say 100% like he's not gonna win. There's no fight where these guys really feel safe putting their guys in with injury.
Yeah, and then I think Eddie has after Andre fight. He said they're gonna try to make that fight with Benavidez. I hope they make that fight. I like to see that fight. What do you think about that if it ever happens? I know it's hypothetical, but
we've talked about that fight like we'd be like a dead horse on this channel. But obviously, we would love the Andre versus Benavidez fight. I mean, those are two guys that, as far as just them as individuals are concerned, these are two guys that want to fight people. They can't fight people due to things that they have no control over. Benavidez doesn't control what Samson does, and Andre can't get these guys to get in the ring with him. Okay, so make it happen. They in a weird way they kind of need each other in my opinion.
Okay, I got another question to ask you.
Go ahead.
Are we going to see a new Berlanga with his head movement and doing all this other stuff now?
Yeah. Hey, if what Mickey Bay's telling us is true, then I hope so, man. I wasn't excited for Berlanga versus Steve Rolls at all. Like that fight, like is. Right. If you're looking for a fight at 168 that's like perfect for Berlanga to get back on to winning ways and look good again, that's the fight, because Rolls really isn't even a 68 pounder. He fought his first fight at 68, which was his last fight on the Oscar Rivas Ryan Rozicki undercard, and that was his super middleweight debut. Now this is the second one, so he's really a 60 pounder.
But what I'm saying is, will you be happy if you see Berlanga fainting? Like, will you be satisfied?
That's the one thing I need to see. I don't care if that's the only thing he shows me. But he gets the knockout, then I can walk away from the Berlanga Steve Rolls fight with more encouragement because he doesn't throw any feints. All right, yeah. He don't throw any feints, and I want to see him throw some feints, man. Throw some feints, break the rhythm of your opponent. Don't just come through the front door all uneducated and get clipped with stupid stuff. Be a bit smarter with how you attack because when he steps up in class, them little things he's not doing are going to come back to haunt him in a very, very bad way.
Yeah, you guys check out Brendan's interview with Mickey Bey on his channel about Berlanga. That being said, in that interview, Mickey Bey really has high hopes for Berlanga being world champion and doing this and doing that. He said about 2 years you see him going up there. So I might think to you, what, in your opinion, what you think Mickey Bey could teach him besides the fainting that will make Berlanga better? He always got the power.
Feinting, changing levels, changing the speed of his punches, just the things that Mickey Bey did well. Like Mickey Bey, all the stuff that we'd want to see Berlanga do more of, Mickey Bey did a lot of when he was fighting. He's got a history of working with guys who are you could say finesse fighters, like Devin Haney's kind of like a finesse fighter guy who has those skills on the outside, who can punch a little bit, but has those skills on the outside. Berlanga needs to add more of that to his game. We know Berlanga's strong. We know Berlanga can crack, as evidenced by the 16 straight first-round knockouts that he had in his career. But now it's about making Edgar Berlanga a more well-rounded fighter. Because I'll tell you this: if he's not a more well-rounded fighter, he going there with a guy like Benavidez. That's going to be the last we hear of him.
Yeah, that's why he got to make sure. Yeah, well, that's why Mickey Bey said he's got to work a couple more years to get better at his craft. And what I like about Mickey Bey, I thought he was just from the God rest in peace. Emmanuel Stewart camp, but he's also trained with other people too.
No, he's really known more for being with Mayweather because he was a Mayweather fighter.
Wow. Okay. So
yeah, he's from Detroit, but like he's really known more for being part of the Mayweather camp. Shout out to my guy Hafid Darbaki. He says, I watched some of your interviews and love the content. I don't want to derail your conversation, but if you had to name your top 5 heavyweights ever in terms of greatness, who would they be? Well, Hafid, first and foremost, I appreciate you, champ. If you enjoy the interviews, continue to watch because there's more coming this week. You know, I got a busy week ahead of me. You know, today was a chill day, but tomorrow is going to be a busy day. I'm not going to say what I'm doing tomorrow, but I got something big tomorrow happening, so stay tuned for that. But as far as my top 5 heavyweights all time in terms of greatness, okay, so in no chronological order, Joe Louis, Evander Holyfield, Rocky Marciano, George Foreman, and did I say Lennox Lewis?
No.
Lennox Lewis. Those yeah, he said greatness. I mean, the guy beat every single person he stepped in the ring with.
Yeah. So what? So Bo's nowhere around.
You can't say in terms of greatness because Bo retired, but Bo retired when he was 29 years old. He didn't have a long enough career to where you could say in terms of overall greatness he was top 5. You can't. And I love Bo. I want to put Bo in the top 5, but I can't.
How about Ezra Charles? Wasn't he heavyweight?
He was heavyweight. Yeah, maybe Ezra Charles. You know, I could see that.
How about Tyson Fury?
I said Ali. Hafida. I did say Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. How about
I said Ali.
About the Naira right now?
No. My 5 are my 5, and don't try to change. My 5 are my 5. Ali, Joe Louis, Evander Holyfield, Rocky Marciano, Lennox Lewis. Oh, no. Ali. Was it Ali?
You said Ali, Joe
Holyfield, Ali, Joe Louis, Holyfield, Rocky Marciano, and who else? I mean, whatever. You got most of my 4 or 5.
Yeah,
I'll get all confused over here.
Yeah.
Let me see. Where's I saw a comment I wanted to get to. One SSS, and this is to you. Probably says we want to see Pops go down to Warriors Gym.
Yeah, well, I was out telling. I was gonna tell BT eventually once I get everything set here. I did my taxes today, so I'll hopefully get my stuff right. Then I'm gonna start going to the local gyms out here.
Go to Mundo. I mean, Mundo's close by. Go to Mundo. Go to 5th Street. Go to.
One SS wants me to go to Warriors Gym. I'll go there.
Go to Warriors Gym. I mean, Warriors kind of far. I'm naming the Miami gyms.
Yeah. But we'll figure it out. I'm gonna try to do that. I was thinking about that. It's funny somebody asked that.
Yeah, Paulette Chapman says they said Porter would knock Crawford Crawford out. Fans begged for that fight. Spence still running his mouth and running for a Crawford fight. So why not move up to the even bigger mouths? I agree. Spence is going to fight Thurman. Spence is going to fight Thurman.
Yeah.
Oh man, someone said no Larry Holmes. I didn't put Larry Holmes. Man, see, this is why I can't do these lists, because I gotta really sit down and think of them. But I'll tell you this: the three that I would have on there for sure. I'm not gonna get into the rest, but the three that I have on there for sure would be Ali, Joe Louis, and George Foreman. Those are the three that I'm gonna have up there for sure. But the other two, I think about. Jesus M says, BT, are you going to Virgil Ortiz versus Michael McKinson? What kind of question is that? Yes, I'm going to Virgil Ortiz versus Michael McKinson. Now, I applied for my press pass yesterday. I should be good to go. I'm excited for that fight, you know. And you know what? We're not listen for that fight, Pops. I'm not doing. You know what? I like Hyro says, don't take the safe way. I'm gonna go the dangerous route. All right, you know, Virgil Ortiz. I'm starting to notice some change in his behavior. He's talking that money talk. You know, he's getting a bit too big for his bridges. All right, talking about paydays and stuff. He's fighting a southpaw, a very awkward southpaw, a deceptively physically strong southpaw. I don't think people have done their homework with Michael McKinson. Fuck it. We'll go with the upset. I'm not betting no money, so if I lose, it don't matter.
I mean, at the end of the day, and I'll be honest with you, it's good to talk trash talk, but when you start like I don't know if everybody agree with me, you BT, but when you start worrying about like you're like the money getter and people want to fight you, no, McKinson, you picked McKinson for a reason, right? But then you knew you don't know what you're getting into. I'm gonna just put it like this: they better watch some fights, McKinson.
They better go watch some fights. If they watch,
he ain't getting no knockdown the first 5 rounds. No, you're not. It's not gonna be an easy fight for him. I don't think so.
We'll see. I'm not gonna make no predictions like that. Anything could happen to McKinson. Right. But anything happened to Virgil. You know, I remember when Virgil fought, when Michael McKinson fought Chris Congo, and I didn't know who the hell Michael McKinson was, but I knew who Chris Congo was, and he was a long, rangy puncher, knocking people out. People said he was gonna run through McKinson, and what we saw in that fight was him get completely schooled and outclassed. So, you know, I'm not saying that Chris Congo is Virgil, because he's not, but I mean, McKinson's been the underdog one before. He's in a position he's in for a reason, and I just don't think people are putting the respect on his name that he should be put, because he's putting in more work at welterweight than a lot of guys that are ranked. To be honest, Hyro says, "I'm ready for Michael McKinson to get his bitch ass knocked out. He ain't better than Samuel Vargas or Kavaluskas. He is definitely better than Samuel Vargas. Get out of here, Kavaluskas. I'm not going to say that because Kavaluskas is an Olympian. Kavaluskas is more experienced, and that was a dangerous fight." But so we'll see about Kavaluskas, but he's definitely better than Samuel Vargas.
Right. See what else?
Douglas Wallace, shout out to him. He says, Pops, Charlo is all talk. He sounds like he's scared of Bud. Stay at 147 and fight them. He ducked Boo Boo, said everything about Bud, but let's do it after Castano. He's all mouth. I'm with Douglas. I'm not gonna disrespect Charlo and say he's all talk. He's not all talk. He's went out there and he's challenged himself to be great. But I would love to see him fight Crawford. You know. Well, why not? Why not?
He's got all the motivation in the world to be better. He's got 3 belts. He want to get that 4th belt. So why not? I think going for the 4th belt, I think it's going to bring more out of him. I think so. I don't think he's going to, once he gets him, they're going to run down on him. No way. And by no means, you know, I don't think that for sure, you know. But I was going to say, what about what do you think is going to happen? I know we talked about this, but I just want to know where does prime time go from here, Brendan?
Chris Colbert?
Yeah, like
I don't know. I don't know where. I don't know where he's going, but I can tell you where he needs to be at, and where he needs to stay. He needs to stay his ass in the gym, and he needs to drop all this prime time bullshit. Like, get rid of it. Like, get rid of it, man. Get rid of it. I liked him more when he was Lil B-Hop, because when he was Lil B-Hop, he was a fighting motherfucker. Like, he used to go in there and fight for real. Like, when he fought back in the day, the fight that made me a fan of him was like back when he was like 7-0, when he fought on the Wilder, I think it was Wilder Stavern 2 undercard, when he fought Titus Williams. I need that guy back. I need that guy. I don't need the guy who's worried about being a star and worried about being in TV shows with Tracy Morgan. I need the guy that was fighting his ass off. That's what I need.
Let me ask you a question, BT, and you probably know this better than anybody else inside the game. Every fighter has a bad day. Do you think Aldo Pal from PBC will go ahead and actually just look at that fight that he lost to Hector Garcia, put it to the side, and put if he had a chance with Shakur Stevenson down the road, if there's a big if we'll go again, will that fight ever happen again now or no?
It's lost its luster. It's lost its luster. Chris Colbert would have to beat. He'd first have to beat Hector Garcia again. He had to beat Hector Garcia in a rematch, like definitively. Like I'm talking about, he needs to beat Hector Garcia the way he beat up on Jaime Arboleda. That's the way he got to beat him. Then he needs to get like a big win. I'm talking like a big. He needs to beat like top
5, maybe.
Consensao, even like if he beat like an Otar, which I don't think he'll beat Otar. I think Otar beat the shit out of Chris Colbert.
Yeah, I think he do that.
He's not beating Otar or Nosian.
And I know you got Consario high, so I don't think he can beat him either. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he just needs to get back to basics. He needs to get back to basics and being just don't be prime time no more. That's not for him. That's not for him. Leave it to Dion.
So you don't see he's gonna get a free pass to go to a title fight right away.
He shouldn't. He has to be Hector Garcia.
Okay.
One SSS says, I think you're underestimating Virgil. Virgil can box, man. No, I'm not. Drew, truthfully, look, I think Virgil is going to win the fight. I'm only picking McKinson because it's fun. It'll make Fight Week more fun if I just pick McKinson to win. But I really think Virgil's going to win. If you go back and you watch my initial video about this fight, and by the way, I was one of the first people on YouTube to make a video about this fight all the way back like on January, was it 1st or 2nd? I made a video about this fight. Wow. I think if Virgil's as good as I think he is, he should get McKinson out of there by the 9th or 10th round. I think he should. But, I've watched McKinson fight. I'm very familiar with him. He doesn't have a ton of pop, but if you know anything about him, you would know that in his last, 3 fights, he's gotten about 4 or 5 knockdowns, something like that. So, yeah. He's doing something right. He's putting guys in their ass.
Yeah, one thing you did say that Virgil hasn't fought a lot of southpaws. Right?
Not a whole lot of. I mean, he's never fought no southpaw. He's never fought like a young fighter. Like all the guys Virgil fought, I'm not hitting on his resume. He's fought good fighters, but nobody that was like young and undefeated and hungry like him. It's the first time he's really fought a guy that kind. Now, one SSS says that he thinks I'm underestimating him, and that he said he's coming to the States. He's not fighting another domestic level British fighter. I agree with that, but he's ranked where he's ranked for a reason. He beat good fighters to get in that position. If you look at his record, he's beat the combined record of like his last 3 or 4 opponents is like 160 and like 4 or something like that. It's a crazy record.
Right. And what do you think? Next week, I was watching that video. Next week is the purse bid for the Dream Bryant versus Daniel Dubois fight. The purse bid. Do you think that the Hall of Famer let the good times roll? Don King will get the fight in the USA, or you think Frank Warren would take it back to the UK?
No, that fight, but when that fight comes off, I think Frank Warren will win another purse bid. He's gonna win 3 straight purse bids. I don't know. I mean, we know Don King has money, but I don't think Don King's gonna put up more money than Frank for that fight. Because I hate to be judgmental and sound like an ass, but like when Trevor Bryan fought his last fight against Guidry, I mean that was like extremely low budget. Yeah, everything. I mean, at the press conference, they had like the fighters all sitting at like a picnic table, passing the microphone after every question. Like, come on, man. So I think the fight will be in the UK. As far as Trevor Bryan's chances in the fight, like, look, we love Trevor Bryan. He's a friend of the channel. I've been covering Trevor for years. I probably know more about Trevor than most people in the sport because I've been interviewing him all these years. But he's just not. He needs to really go to another level this fight. He needs to come into shape. No more of this 260, 270 bullshit. He needs to really come in the shape that he was in when he fought Derek Rossi all those years ago on Showtime. And because Dubois is the guy that is looking at getting back to that top level. He got derailed by Joe Joyce in bad and horrible fashion where he was getting his head jabbed off and he quit and whatnot. Or people say he quit. So he needs to make a statement this fight.
Yeah, and another thing that they were saying about that belt that if Dubois gets from the Dream Bryant is like what does it legitimize? It doesn't legitimize a lot of things they say.
Well, it doesn't. It's not like I mean, contrary to popular belief, it's not really a legitimate belt, but it will put Dubois or Bryan, whoever wins the fight, it will put either one in a position where they could potentially fight, whoever the WBA champion is after they fight. So that's really all it's for. But I think it's a good fight. It's a good fight for Dubois because people are going to pick Dubois, obviously, because he's on paper he's a better fighter than Bryan. But we saw Dubois get so many layups. I mean, he had one of the biggest cherry picks I've ever seen any fighter in any weight class ever get when he fought that dude Fujimoto. Remember that fight against the Japanese dude Fujimoto? Yeah. The guy looked like a damn light heavyweight. It was ridiculous. Yeah. So, how is Dubois going to react when he gets punched in the mouth again? Because the one guy that ever really punched Dubois in his mouth was Joe Joyce, and it didn't work out well for him. So, I wouldn't ride off Bryan, but Dubois is the favorite. And I feel
that even with Dubois winning the fight, or Bryan, if he either or whatever, best luck to Bellum. I feel that Warren is still going to want to see that fight with Joe Joyce a rematch with Joe Joyce. I think that's what they're going for eventually.
We'll see. We'll see, man. One SSS says, I'll be going to the Virgil fight. I wish it wasn't at the Galen Center. It reminds me of school. Oscar is just a cheap ass because he has a relationship with USC since his daughter goes there.
Yeah.
He's basically saying Oscar didn't want to pay no site fees to fight at like a Staples Center or like any of like the great venues in LA. So he used his plug at the Galen Center and he saved some money. What you think?
Crazy. Well, I believe it. A lot of fighters look Eddie like I was telling about Eddie Hearn with Dylan White. He had an interview saying, Dylan White didn't show up because he wanted a jet or personal plane or something to fly him. He bringing out all these kind of negative things that for the demands that the White had, that White wanted that he didn't get. But then here's his promoter Eddie Hearn talking all this shit. And he didn't do shit about it. If I go back to what I'm gonna say about De La Hoya, the same thing. De La Hoya.
Yeah, it's not like Eddie Hearn can't afford a private jet,
That's what I'm saying. So why are you bringing it out to light?
It's that big of a deal.
No, and isn't he White his fighter?
It is his fighter, but the thing he'll say is, if you would have ever said that to Eddie Hearn, the thing he would say would be like, hey, I'm not the one promoting the fight. Frank Warren is, so it's his responsibility to provide accommodation to go to the press conference for the purse bid that he won.
Right.
That's where it's gonna come from. But my thing is like, if it's that big of a deal,
yeah.
If you're gonna bring it up in the media, like get the man a damn jet.
And do you actually feel that the small thing that would bring out, I should write it down. Do you actually feel, or you just think that Tyson Fury is being Tyson Fury about him retiring and stuff after this Dylan White? Or
I'm not paying that no mind. If y'all haven't learned already, like if you're gonna go over here and listen to everything Tyson Fury says and take it as the gospel truth, like then you're doing you're gonna drive yourself crazy. I treat like when Tyson Fury has quotes and people want to start going crazy, making videos and articles about hit quotes. I treat Tyson Fury the same way I treat Eddie Hearn. Like I don't listen to everything Eddie Hearn says. I listen real close. I take what I believe and don't believe in, but don't take everything they say at face value because
it's not really true. And then I was listening to Ben Shalom was saying that fight with Amir Khan and Brooke could happen because Amir Khan went back and he's taking.
I'm gonna show you something, Pops. I'm actually glad you brought that up. All right, so we're gonna go to screenshot. I got something to show you. I'm gonna show you a reason why that fight is definitely happening.
Are you serious?
Watch this shit. Yeah, I'm gonna show you. I want all you guys here. By the way, shout out to all you guys here. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, super chat, all that stuff. But I wanted to show you this, Pops. This fight is definitely gonna happen. And you want to know why?
Why?
I'm gonna show you. Watch. This Amir Khan is definitely gonna fight Kell Brook again. I'm gonna show you why. Hold on. Let me just go on Instagram right quick. For those of you who've seen Amir Khan's last Instagram post, you know why I'm saying what I'm saying. Hold on. Let me just get his thing queued up.
Okay.
All right, so we go here. So this is Amir Khan's Instagram. Amir King Kong, one of the premier names of the sport. I think he should retire, but he wants the extra payday. Now, this is the reason right here why he gonna fight Kell Brook again. He just posted this today. I saw this shit today. I was going crazy when I seen this. So Amir Khan took the check that he got, the check cleared, and he bought himself a Lamborghini. He bought himself a nice little gift. So, hey, he was sad when he lost because he was like, you know what, my heart started to know more. You know, I don't have nothing left to give to the sport. But then, like 2 weeks later, that check cleared, and he said, I got me a Lamborghini. I need another one. Give me exercise rematch clause.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So so that you really think it's gonna happen then? I mean, if it's the first one.
Absolutely, it's gonna happen again. I mean, why not? I mean, if he made enough money to buy a Lamborghini, shit, why not take a rematch? I can't blame him.
Yeah.
Would you? I mean, I don't know exactly what he made, but shit, he made enough to buy a Lamborghini. So.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, is he living a single life too?
No, he's married, but it don't matter. He got it. He got the money. So if you got it, get it.
Yeah. You might as well go ahead and get it. Yeah. So then,
I mean, it's a completely pointless fight. It's a completely pointless fight. I don't think he'll win. If he actually does come back and takes the Brook rematch, we know it's strictly about money, because we know for a fact that we saw what his real thoughts were after the fight. He looked right into the camera and he said, I'm done. The love ain't there for the sport. It's not there. And once that leaves, it's time to hang it up and call it a day. Like and that's with anything. Like if I ever lose love for covering the sport of boxing, it's time to hang it up. And anything else, if you lose love for it, you hang it up.
Because your passion's not there.
Passion ain't there. I mean, I'm sure he may love boxing in other ways, but not enough to fight and continue his own career, because he's been boxing for a long time. I mean, this is a guy in Amir Khan that, what is he, like 35 now, something like that? He won the silver medal when he was 17. So he spent more than half of his life in the public eye. Think about that. More than half of his life, he's been famous. He's been in the public eye. He's been boxing for even longer than that. So, that takes a toll.
Right. That's true.
For me, personally, I think he should retire. I would hate to see him continue to go in there again and get knocked out again, because no matter what you say about Amir Khan, he gave people a lot of great fights. He's given a lot to the sport, and you hate to see him continue longer than he should.
Yeah, at some point you have to move on too. You can't you're gonna get hurt, and it's not worth it.
Yeah,
if you ask me. Do you have anything on your side you want to put out or talk about? Or
for me, let me see. There's quite a lot. Oh! Do you see the news about Hrgovic?
Yeah, he's fighting Zhang.
Yeah. But do you know when he's fighting him?
No.
You didn't see that news, did you? That just came out like within the last couple hours. You didn't see it, did you?
No.
Oh, so apparently Hrgovic's gonna fight Zhang Zhilei as the co-main event on the Canelo Bivol undercard.
Is he better than Zhang?
Who?
Zhang, the opponent that
he is better. He is better than him, but that's not really the story. The story is that he's fighting on the Canelo Bivol undercard as a co-main event.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it worked out good for him, because this is a guy that he had Ortiz not want the fight, he had Parker not want the fight, Dempsey McKean didn't want the fight, and Michael Hunter didn't want. I mean, a lot of these guys didn't want the fight because they just said that the money wasn't enough to get in the ring with them or whatever.
Right.
That's their prerogative. They IBF title shots on the line if you beat them, but that wasn't enough either. So Zhang Zhilei took the fight, and it worked out good for Hrgovic because he gets to showcase his skills now in front of a great audience, because everybody in boxing is going to be watching that card. I mean, when every boxing fan that watches the sport actively will be watching that card. Everybody in the boxing industry will be watching that card, and he gets to fight in the fight right before Canelo. So this is his chance to really show what he can do. I talk highly about Hrgovic a lot. I do think he is one of the guys that could go on to become heavyweight champion of the world. Him, Joe Joyce, guys, them guys. But yeah, I'm excited about it. Zhang Zhilei. I mean, I think he should beat Zhang Zhilei because
he's old though. He's an old guy.
Yeah, but he's never lost. Zhang Zhilei's undefeated. He's 23-0. He had that one fight against Jerry Forrest where he dropped him 3 or 4 times, and then Jerry Forrest got up and won almost all the rounds besides the ones he got dropped in. So he got a draw, but he's never lost on paper. So I'm not going to disrespect. One thing I'm really high on, Pops, especially this year, I'm getting better at this, is to not disrespect opponents. If a fight is scheduled, you don't overlook the opponent.
Yeah, I'm just saying the age difference. I think that's going to play a thing. But
but the heavyweights though. The heavyweights, like guys fight into like the late 30s, all-time heavyweights. So I don't think that's a big deal.
I think I'm happy for Hrgovic, the animal. We love him here, and for him to get an opportunity like God is good.
But what's crazy is like all these guys like Parker and Ortiz who didn't want no smoke. They're idiots because if they would have taken the fight, they would have been co-main event on the Canelo undercard. Oh, so they lost out. They would make more money. Like they thought they were being smart. Like, oh yeah, we're not gonna fight him because of the money or whatnot and whatnot because they don't believe in themselves. But they would have been fighting on the Canelo Bivol undercard. They would have just by being the co-main event on the card, win or lose, they could have raised their stock just by being on the damn card.
And does the purse get bigger because he's going to be on the
No. The purses are already predetermined because the fight's an IBF eliminator. So I believe he gets like 60% of the purse, or 65, and then the opponent gets 35 to 40.
Oh, okay.
And then Eddie Hearn, when they put the money up for the fight, I think Eddie Hearn or whoever, I think it was Eddie Hearn, they only put up like, I think it was like, it couldn't have been more than 600,000 at most.
Right. Okay, damn.
It wasn't a lot. So like Hrgovic's gonna make like 3 something. Zhang Zhilei will make like
but like you said, the best part is he'll get more exposure because there'll be more people tuning in, and if he does it in devastating fashion, which I expect, it's even better.
Yeah. Hyro says, have fun at the Galen Center. It's ironic that most of the fighters on the card are dropouts. Screw the Galen Center. What is up with the zone with these weird ass venues like the Pachenga Arena? Well, Hyro, the Pachenga Arena is like the only arena in San Diego. Like San Diego is not like a huge city, so they don't only have an arena. So if you're gonna have a fight in San Diego, unless you have a fight at like Petco Park where the Padres play, the baseball team, you can't have no fights in San Diego. I'll tell you this, Pops. I hope they have a lot more fights in San Diego because San Diego, first and foremost, San Diego, if you do your history, has had a lot of big fights. Ken Norton fought Muhammad Ali in one of their fights at the Pachenga Arena back in the day. Wow. Yeah, and we know boxing. We know the Mexican community spends a lot of money in boxing. San Diego is right near the border. Yeah. So why not have the fights? Why not have the fights there? And on top of that, it's. I'm sorry, Pops. I love South Florida, but they're the only city I've been to in my life nicer than South Florida is probably San Diego. Oh my God,
it's so crazy. Nice. And we've been hearing of that for the longest time, and now
everything I heard was true.
Yeah. Wow. So I think you're falling in love with that. That's all good, though. Yeah. You won't know if you don't travel.
Yeah, you don't know. That's why you go travel for yourself. One SSS says that's not true. They have the old San Diego Chargers arena. Do they? Is Qualcomm Stadium still around? I mean, I guess if the football stadium's still around, I don't know if it is. Sean, is the Chargers old stadium still up in San Diego?
I'm not sure.
When I was taking the train, there was like a stadium that they were building. I don't know if they were like rebuilding the old one because I don't know. I've never been to San Diego, so I don't know where the hell the Chargers stadium is in San Diego. But there was like a stadium I kept seeing because I took the train from where I was staying. Like, it's still around? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I guess Qualcomm Stadium where the Chargers used to play. There's that. But the thing is, if you're going to put fights in a football stadium, they got to be big enough to put in the football stadium.
That's it.
You can't just put a random fight in the football stadium. That's just not how it works.
Yeah.
So hopefully in the future.
Yeah. Like I said, what's going to happen with what's happening with Ruiz Jr.? What is he doing?
I don't know. Oh, I don't know what he's doing.
Is he waiting for Wilder to come back?
I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. I know he didn't want I know he didn't want the Hrgovic smoke because he was like one of the first people offered the fight. Yeah, he turned it down. But the thing is, though, like Andy's touched like 7 figures. He's touched some like serious money. So like, he's not gonna take the Hrgovic fight because he's made real money. He's made real money in boxing. I understand why he turned it down. Same goes with Parker. I still think they didn't want the smoke, but I see why they turned it down. Yeah. Oh, Pops, did you see your boy Kovalev? He's coming back on May 14th.
Brandon, please don't mention him. I always respect for him.
But he's coming back though. He's back.
2 years.
He's back.
I see him doing that stupid Mexican dance. when he fought Canelo, and they're shaking hands and all this stuff, and I lost all respect for Canelo.
So you don't care about Kovalev no more because he was too buddy with Canelo when they fought. What?
I had a disdain for. You're gonna hate me for this one on Andre Ward, but guess what? I like Andre Ward better than I like Kovalev.
Wow, for real?
As far as the
you alone on that one. You alone on that one.
I'm just saying the way Andre carries himself with that whatever, but he would do the crazy crap that he did. So this.
Oh no, you would never see Andre Ward taking selfies with Canelo before a fight.
I was so happy. I thought he was just mocking the whole thing, whatever, and it was just for the nice. And then I don't know that minute when I heard about what happened.
Yeah, but just so you know, Pops, just so you're not just in case anybody ever asks you about it, he's fighting Kubrat Pulev's brother on May 14th in California.
Is he good?
He's solid. I mean, I don't really know much about Jermell Charlo other than the fact that he was that guy. I think he was the guy that exposed that Jenny Sushi girl. Remember Jenny Sushi? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Gloria. Yeah, Sean. I got Gloria Aldred to do the case. That was a big deal.
Crazy, yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Huh?
Shows you a lot about Gloria Aldred.
It does. Gloria Aldred would just work any case these days.
Yeah. And what's up? Speaking about Pulev, what's he doing? Nothing. He's just doing crazy stuff. You don't hear nothing from him. Actually, no more. I haven't heard nothing from him.
Who?
Pulev.
Kubrat Pulev has been fighting in that combat triad. You know about that?
No.
It's like that thing where no. It's like they have MMA fighters. They have MMA fighters fighting boxers with hybrid rules in like a triangular ring.
Oh, that's crazy stuff.
Yeah. He fought. Frank Mir, the MMA fighter.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
he beat him.
He knocked him out. The knockout went viral.
He probably made more money off of that than all the fights he's had, right?
That's my favorite Pulev fight, Frank Mir.
Frank Mir was old, was he? Isn't he old?
Yeah, but when you get a chance, just go YouTube Kubrat Pulev versus Frank Mir.
I will. I'll
knock the shit out of him.
Probably get a laugh out of that.
You will. One SSS, screw Kovalev. He's a bitch. I'm glad Andre beat him twice. He called the fans idiots for thinking he can win. He did say that. He said fans were. I think his exact words were. Fans are ignoramuses for thinking I could beat Canelo.
Yeah, I'm on one SS on this one.
That's kind of sad because he was out boxing Canelo with the jab. Like he had a lot of success with the jab. So I mean, if that's how he fought, not believing in himself, I wonder how good he would have did if he really believed in himself.
Man, I don't even want to talk about him. He's whatever.
Kovalev was a great fighter. People were like,
no, he was.
That's how boxing is. Like boxing, like you lose a couple fights. And people forget how great you were at a time, but man, Kovalev was the truth. Guy was the number 2 pound for pound fighter in the world at one point.
Okay, so what happened to all that money you could have paid your case off, and you had to go ahead and throw that fight? Oh, that's my own opinion. Throw that fight and be buddies with your enemy. Wait, where do you see that?
Well, I don't know. You see it in boxing. That's why I'm talking about
it. I get mad. I ain't even talk about that.
Hyro says, I'm not giving Bivol no credit because he should be Canelo. If he loses, everything I said is true. He shouldn't lose to a man that's smaller than him. Well, then you got to keep that same energy for like everybody Canelo's fought at like 168. And even some guys at 160.
Yeah. You got to keep the same energy for all of them.
Hyro, just call a spade a spade. You hate Bivol. Just say you hate Bivol because you want Better Biev to get the fight and you think Bivol ducked Better Biev.
And what do you think about speaking about that, BT? What do you think about Abel Sanchez saying that the only 3 fighters that can beat Canelo, Biev, he said Biev, Gigi, and who's he? I forgot what Benavidez.
I think that's his opinion, and I'm not gonna knock Abel Sanchez for his opinion.
Yeah,
like, God bless Abel Sanchez.
Yeah.
I don't agree with his opinion, but listen.
I knew that was coming. Yeah. But everybody is taking their own opinion.
Abel Sanchez is a trainer that we know what his MO is. His MO is when it comes to like what kind of style of boxing he likes. He trains his fighters the same way. Like his fighters are all trained to come forward fighters to get knockouts, which I'm not against, but that's the kind of style of fighting he likes. So that of course the guys that he said could be Canelo are all guys who have those kind of styles.
And what do you think about I'm just gonna throw this question out. I don't know if I asked before. If Gigi was still with Abel, do you think everything would be a lot different?
What be a lot different?
him fighting more fighters and stuff?
I don't think that has any
bearing on it.
Bearing on how many times GGG's fighting.
Okay. So no, the answer is no.
Jesus M keeps asking me, what difference do you see with what differences do you think Virgil will show with Robles? I don't really think we'll see much of a difference, to be honest with you. I mean, Virgil, I think he is what he is. He's a very smart boxer, good power jab, great finisher, knows how to cut the ring off. I think we'll pretty much see what we always see from Virgil. I don't really expect much different.
Do you think Virgil, if he was training at the Reynoso gym, have most?
Robin?
Do you think if Virgil was training at the Reynoso gym and Canelo gym, he'd have more pressure on him training? It'll be the same no matter which training.
What do you mean by pressure?
Like by being around Canelo, being around Reynoso, being around them and the media and the other guy that was interviewing them. That would put more pressure on him to.
I mean, does it matter? I mean, does it matter if you're a big name in the sport? There's always gonna be pressure. There's pressure on Virgil to fight. I mean, people can say what they want, but like every fight, there's pressure.
Yeah. Okay.
I know. Right now, everybody's saying Virgil's this and Virgil's that, but God forbid for him, like he lose to Michael McKinson or something like that, then all of a sudden people can say he's a hype job. That's how boxing is.
Yeah, that's crazy.
There's pressure to deliver every fight.
So they forget. So basically, they forget everything they did in the past, and just you're not as good as your last fight, your last dance, basically.
That's how 95% of people who watch boxing think that you're only as good as your last fight. I don't subscribe to that because I'm of the theory that like most fighters fight up and down to the competition. It's few fighters that stay at like a high level every single fight, like your Floyd's and your Chocolatitos and your Canelos and them guys like that. No, them guys is rare, but most guys fight up and down.
Right.
I don't subscribe to that.
Right. And I don't blame you. Yeah, you have your own theory on certain things, and that's why you say that, for sure.
Yes. Carl Hansen, what's good, champ? He says, salute BT and Pop. Salute to you, champ. Good to see you. Hope all is well and good with you out there in Australia.
Yeah, that's right. Has he heard anything about the Cambosan fight over there?
Listen, nobody really knows anything about the Cambosa's fight.
Yeah.
Everybody said one day it's Loma. Now Loma's going to a war. Then it's Haney. You already know what I think about that. I've been telling people for like a month and a half, seemingly what I think about that. It's gonna end up somehow with Ryan Garcia at some point.
Yeah,
I know. Go ahead.
If Tank beats Rolly Romero, which I don't think it's as easy as it's gonna be, would you like to see a Tank in Ryan Garcia or Tank in Haney?
I'm not gonna answer that because he gotta get the Rolly. I'm not answering none of that. He gotta get the Rolly. He gotta get the Rolly. We're not gonna talk about Tank. We're not gonna talk about Ryan. We're not talking about none of that. Okay. He needs to get through Rolly because I mean, especially after that. I mean, I hate to sound like most boxing fans, but like he fought Eastside Cruz. Eastside Cruz is probably one of the first. Look, the reality of people may not want to hear this, but it's the truth. Gervonta Davis's best performances have all come against guys who are 26 pounders, 22 pounders, all these blown up guys he's moving up. The two times he ever fought 235 pounders, he looked bad. He looks not against Isaac Cruz, he looked bad, and against Gamboa, he looked bad. Those are the only two real 35 pounders he's fought, and he's looked bad. So to write off Rolly Romero and start talking about Tank versus Ryan and Tank versus Tio and Tank versus this and Tank versus that. No, he got to get through Rolly Romero.
Okay, not a question I want to ask to ponder me for the longest time, but I got to ask you, I'm thinking about the Rangasai and Bam. How is Bam Rodriguez going to do with Rangasai?
How's he going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Personally, I think it's a tough fight for him. Because Rangasai is extremely experienced, he's got good skills, boxing, physically strong. I don't think that's a fight that he needs right now. I think Eddie Hearn is getting a little bit too excited about what happened with Cuadras, and he's trying to push Bam a little bit too quickly. Now if Bam want to fight Chocolatito, great fight. If you want to fight Gallo, great fight. but I don't think Bam needed to be fighting Rungvisai right now. Not right now. If Bam isn't a fight Rungvisai, give Bam like 2 or 3 fights to settle into 115 before you just let him fight Rungvisai.
That was my second question. If you wanted to see Charlo against Bam, because Bam sounded like you wanted to beat the shit out of him.
Bam is big, man. Me and Sean, me and my boy Sean, we interviewed Bam, and I mean the guy is huge. The guy's got of all the 15-pounders I've seen in my life in person, and I've met almost all of them. His back was the biggest. It was wide. It was extremely wide. I'll never forget that, sitting in the lobby, seeing Bam Rodriguez walk out the hotel and seeing how wide his back was for a guy of that size.
Wow. So he's big then. He's gonna be a force.
He's big, he's young, he's strong, and he's a southpaw. There's a lot of things dangerous about him.
Are there any Japanese fighters in his weight class?
What kind of question is that? Half the fighters in his weight class is Japanese.
I'm just asking. I kind of know how we're gonna say something. Little thing. Yeah.
Japanese fighters dominate the 115, 112 division. They're like Japanese and Mexicans.
If you want to see him fight with a Japanese, who would it be?
I mean, if he's gonna fight Chocolatito or Rungvisai, I would like to see him fight Kazuto Ioka. That'd be a good fight, because if he could beat a Kazuto Ioka, that gets him a title, and then that makes whoever he fights next even bigger. So I think that's the route they should try to go.
But doesn't he have a title already?
Who?
Bam.
Technically he does, but because Gael Estrada is franchise champion.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, the politics. Okay, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, you know how that goes. So technically he has a belt, but Gael Estrada is franchise champion. So Gael is actually the champion, but Bam has a he's basically like Devin Haney. He just won his title on the ring. It's the same thing.
You don't have to worry about that because when Chocolatito fights Gael, he's gonna set him straight.
I don't want to see that fight.
You don't?
No.
50-50 or what you want? 60-40?
I don't even care. I just don't want to see it. I don't even care about it. Like Gael didn't want smoke the third fight. Like Gael. Oh my God. My bad, guys. I'm watching my boy Sean's Attell play Fight Night. This dude, he's playing Fight Night online. The guy had a crazy record. Anyway, what were we talking about? Gael? Yeah, like Gael requested the franchise belt. Then when they made the damn fight, he said he had COVID. Then when he had COVID, he's over here making babies. When he had COVID.
So it's
not my business. It's not my business, but like it don't look good. The optics don't look good when you say you had COVID, and then meanwhile your wife's getting pregnant.
Yeah.
It don't look good. And it was like the week of Chocolatito versus Martinez that it was announced.
Right.
I'm like, come on, man. Like
yeah, you don't want to hear that crap.
I really don't. Gael can go fight Rungvisai a third time. They can go settle their score because that's actually a score worth settling. Like Rungvisai, I mean, some people say Gael won the first fight. I used to think that at one point, but then I went back and watched it. I thought Rungvisai just did enough to win. The rematch, Rungvisai got schooled. So I think that's the third fight that's more legitimate. Chocolatito already beat Gael twice.
Right. So that's what you're gonna call it. Okay. We're gonna see. I don't know. I should have wrote it down. I had a whole bunch of stuff I'm gonna tell you.
There's all kinds of stuff going on in boxing. There's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. When it's Frank Sanchez fighting, I know you don't consider him any good at all. Right?
Did you really just bring up Frank Sanchez out of nowhere? I can't believe it. That's one name. That's one name I didn't think I was going to hear on this live is Frank Sanchez. What I think about? I haven't heard anything about Frank Sanchez, and my day will continue to be great if I don't hear anything about Frank Sanchez. I don't like. I'm not that high on Frank Sanchez.
You don't know?
Oh my God.
Okay, I'll back you out.
What happened, Sean?
Frank Sanchez is kind of good.
He's solid. He's good. He's a good little fighter. What do you think, Sean? How good do you think Frank Sanchez is? He's a good contender.
He's a contender for sure.
Do you get excited to watch him fight?
He impressed me against the Jogba.
Yeah, I give you that. Like Jogba fight. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I guess I'm being a little harsh because I went to his last fight where he fought. Who was his last fight? When he fought the Ortiz undercard. Yeah. He fought like some faded veteran and didn't look that good. And I don't know, man.
So you don't think of that right now? So training making him better?
guy who's either the champ or getting close to fighting for the title. He could play spoiler for some guys.
Yeah, so like he could
be
be like a Jared Anderson, a Joe Joyce,
Yep.
Hergovic, them type of guys. Okay, so there you have it. My boy Sean Zattel, he's like a special contributor. You know, he's playing Fight Night right now, but he's saying that Frank Sanchez, he thinks Frank Sanchez is a very good contender, and that he could play spoiler to a lot of the guys on the come up, like your Joe Joyce's, like your Hergovics, like your Jared Andersons, guys like that.
But he's not a gatekeeper. He's not a gatekeeper for the heavyweight, then, basically.
No, well, I never said that about him. I just said that I don't like. I'm not a big fan.
Yeah. For sure. So yeah, I don't know. I want Wilder to come back, man. I want Wilder to come back.
One SSS says, I watch a lot of Japanese. Ioka is famous in Japan. He's sponsored by Sankayo, the biggest company in Japan. Ioka is the longest 115-pound champion right now. He is. He absolutely is. Ioka, I'm like anxiously awaiting to go to the Salas gym because I want to go and meet Kosai Tanaka. I want to get him on the channel. I want to get Salas on the channel. I want to get Ioka on the channel. I want to get all these guys on the channel. These are all guys that I'm fans of because these are all guys that are huge names in the lower weight classes. These guys are top fighters in the lower weight classes. And I'll tell you this, I was rewatching Tanaka versus Ioka the other night with Sean because we were like talking about Charlo Tito's next opponents.
Yeah.
And I forgot how good Tanaka was doing in that fight. Jairo, I know Ioka's your guy, but if Tanaka could just clean up the defense a little bit, he would have boxed his ears off. He just took too many big shots. But if he matures a bit more, I don't think they'll fight each other now because they're gonna have the same trainer.
Yeah. What about Brandon? I gotta ask you about this fight. Supposedly Michel Rivera is gonna fight
Adorno. I'll keep hearing that he's fighting with Adorno.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I haven't thought too much of it.
I think Michel's gonna beat the fuck out of him. Sorry, beat the shit out of him.
Yeah. Why do you say that? What makes you say that?
Adorno was disappointed when he fought in Orlando. So but
he didn't fight no bum. He didn't fight no bad fighter. He fought Jermaine Ortiz. Jermaine Ortiz is a good fighter.
Okay, I just think Michel's coming, Brendan.
I think I would favor Michel in that fight because I mean we saw Adorno. We saw what Jermaine Ortiz was doing to him in spots of that fight. He can get outboxed. So I would like Michel in that fight slightly.
Yeah. And what do you think about? I know you probably don't have no answer because you haven't been around Warriors Gym. I don't know when I get down there.
You gotta go. You gotta Warrior. I'm not in South Florida right now, so you gotta be the South Florida guy now.
I'm gonna go look into that for sure. I'm just throwing it out there. So what else happened? I can't think of nothing. I should have wrote everything down.
If y'all got any questions, y'all ask. I mean, we're gonna end live soon in the next 20 minutes anyway. So
yeah. So if you have any questions,
y'all got anything, you can feel free to ask. Let me see what else is going on. I'm just gonna go through the news, see what we can find.
So you got Leo Wood winning this weekend?
Do I have Lee Wood winning?
Yeah.
Slightly. Yeah. I mean, he's at home. Yeah. He's at home. I don't know. I have to actually go and watch some tape because like I've only seen one Lee Wood fight, which was the Zhu Camp fight. I've only ever seen Lee Wood's best performance ever. Like I've never seen anything other than Lee Wood anything other than his best.
Okay.
Colin, I've watched a lot more because he's fought in the States a lot. You know, his debut was on TV. So I know what he's bringing to the table. I don't have a prediction yet. I haven't even made a video about that fight yet.
Yeah, I think Colin. I would really think it's gonna be a close fight. It's not gonna be like a gimme for either one. You know, for that. And I'm dying to see what else was somebody else.
I'll tell you this though. What I can't say about Lee Wood versus Michael Collin is when Angelo Leo go up there, they better steer clear.
Yo, speaking about him, man, that guy's putting a lot of work in the gym, man. I don't know what fight's coming up for him, but he's like.
I'm not sure what undercard I'll be fighting on next, but I would anticipate that it'll either be Rolly versus Tank undercard or Spence versus Ugas. It's gonna be one of them two cards, or Charlo Castaño. It'll be Charlo Castaño, Rolly versus Tank, or Spence versus Ugas.
Oh, he's like deep in it though. Like I'm not saying he hasn't done that before. But he's putting that time in that ring, boy. I mean, in the gym.
Well, because you know Angelo knows he's one of the best fighters out there, and he wants to prove it under the lights. So he got to make sure that he's got everything in order. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And I'm really happy for Blair the Flair that he's fighting too. Woo!
If Tanaka was good, he would have fought Junto Nakatani.
Oh,
man, there you go. You starting to sound like, yo, I gotta ask, is one SSS actually Hyro? I know one SSS has been here long before I knew Hyro, but man, like they say the same things. They believe all this. I'm almost starting to think that one SSS is Hyro.
You probably laughing in the background. You probably laughing in the background.
That's a good fight. That's a good fight, Tanaka versus Nakatani. I wouldn't be against it.
Yeah, you wouldn't be against that.
Hyro's being pessimistic. Hyro's being very pessimistic. He's saying that Lee Wood is going to win by robbery because he hates Lee Wood.
Yeah, but you gotta get credit. What does he hate him for? He's a good.
Hyro in the comments, because you kindly explain to my father why you hate Lee Wood.
Is that because
he just doesn't like him because he's an Eddie Hearn, like he views him as an Eddie Hearn hype job because he won one fight against Jucan and he thinks Eddie Hearn is like overrating him.
Yeah. Well, a lot of promoters do that with some fighters.
You know, if truth be told, if Kid Galahad would have did his job and beat Kiko Martinez and Lee Wood would have won this fight, that would have been the next fight. It would have been Lee Wood versus Kid Galahad. You would have heard Eddie Hearn saying, you know, Lee Wood versus Kid Galahad is a massive fight. Yeah, you would have been hearing all that nonsense.
Yeah. So I'm still laughing about yesterday when I told you about when I see Eddie Hearn say that white got that put in the left hand and he gonna knock out Fury.
No, he is a bit delusional, but he's not lying. Like Dillian White's left hook is one of the most dangerous punches in boxing when it lands. It's just I don't think it's gonna land against Fury.
Yeah,
but if Fury get caught by one of them, I'm telling you, Fury isn't exactly George Chuvalo. You know, he's been dropped by lesser fighters than Dillian White. Been dropped by Nevin Pajic. He got hurt by Nikolai Furtha. He got dropped by Steve Cunningham. Obviously Wilder. Otto Von Lee hurt him. So, you know, Fury can be hurt. But I'll tell you this, if it would be a sad day for boxing if Fury loses to Dillian White. Like at that point, then you'd have to say at this point that like all the heavyweight division, the heavyweights of this era are extremely overrated if he loses to Dillian White. If Fury loses to Dillian White, he's not as good as we think he is.
So would you say White got the one punch chance to win?
Every heavyweight has a puncher's chance. There's always that one punch factor in the heavyweight division. Always.
Yeah. Okay.
Shout out to my guy Nathan from the UK. He says hello from the UK. Hi Pops, your boy is clever, good man. Sending good thoughts to both you guys. Nathan, shout out to my guy Nathan from the UK, National Memorial Gardens, a long time viewer of the channel. Much love, Nathan. Good to see you, champ.
God bless you. Yeah, for sure. And who you think Josh is gonna fight now that Usyk is on thing? I
don't know who he's gonna fight. I can tell you who he should fight. And I'm actually like I'm like mildly upset at myself for not asking this question when I was in front of Eddie Hearn. But there's never been a better time to make the Deontay Wilder fight than now for Joshua. Never.
Do you think that Wilder will come back real quick for that fight?
Why not? I mean, what fight? Name me one fight in the heavyweight division between non-title holders that's bigger than Joshua versus Wilder. You can't.
No, you can't. Do you think it ever be made though? All depends. This guy come back.
I don't because there's too many egos involved. You know, we know with PBC they have a long track record of like, you know, sometimes blocking the fights. We know that Eddie Hearn. It's too much. It's too many moving parts, and I don't know. But I mean, look, the fight will sell. That fight could be in Las Vegas, it will sell. It could be in the UK, it'll sell. Wilder don't got a whole lot of boxing left. It's very questionable if he'll even like fight again, to be honest. But if he's gonna have one more fight, what fight will be better to have to end his career than that one?
That's right. That'd be great. I mean, and everybody wants to see that fight. Like, I mean, because everybody was waiting for that fight for how long, and they never got it. So I have to totally agree with what you're saying there for sure.
I mean, yeah, even Nathan agrees. He says you're right. There's too many egos, way too many egos.
Jesus.
I mean, if they couldn't get the fight when there was 50 millions and hundreds of millions and undisputed on the line, both guys were undefeated. You know, UK, US television involved. If they couldn't get it back done, if they could get it done back then, why would they get it done now?
Yeah, and it's okay.
Mind you, Pops. Eddie Hearn doesn't have a ton going for him as far as like making money. Canelo is his big attraction in North America, but we know that his biggest attraction in the UK is obviously Anthony Joshua. So while there's a very dangerous fight for Joshua, we know Joshua isn't exactly George Chuvalo either. He don't got a granite chin. So it's a fight that Joshua can get knocked out brutally in, and we know that Eddie Hearn wouldn't want to see that.
Well, if Canelo signed, Eddie Hearn signed Canelo for for these.
And on top of that, I want to add this in. Okay. Neither Joshua nor Wilder at this point really need the money. They have now at a stage of their career and their life where they're both financially comfortable and they're set. They secured their future. They've secured their finances.
Yeah, and
they don't need the fight.
I feel that one thing that Eddie Hearn has for himself, with Canelo signing that the 3-fight, whatever it is he has right now, and they're actually getting along. I could see Canelo literally staying with Eddie Hearn and finish his future with him. What do you think? And he will make money off of that. He'll make a lot of money off of that, even if he doesn't have the fighters. Eddie Hearn.
What do I think about it?
Yeah.
I think that he's going to continue to do what he's done. He booked himself for the year, but I think after this deal is done, he'll go look for the next big deal. Whoever is going to get Canelo the biggest deal, that's what he's going to go with. That's why, listen, Canelo knew all along what deal he was going to sign. He knew he was going to sign the DAZN deal.
Right.
There was a period of time where I thought maybe he'd sign a PBC deal, but I think he just kind of dragged it out to get more money, and he did.
Right.
He got an extra fight out of it, and he got $20 million additionally than what was reported.
Shit, did you see that Bugatti he drove with at that thing, that blue? I think it was a Bugatti or something like that. That car was nice as hell, man.
Yeah, it was nice. Hyro said, here you go. Here's why Hyro doesn't like Lee Wood, Pops. She says, Lee Wood is a bitch. He fought a jet-lagged Jucan. There is nothing special about him. He got outboxed by Jazza Dickens, and Jazza Dickens is cheating as hell. He got stopped by Gavin McDonald. And I'll also chime in, Hyro, and I'll also say that Jazza Dickens got his jaw broke by Rigondeaux.
Oh, yeah. God bless Rigondeaux. I hope he's better with his health.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what he said.
And then he said Lee Wood won a big fight. It's just because he's with Ben Davison. There's nothing special about him. I know you hate Santa Cruz because he cherry picks, but he has a perfect style to beat Lee Wood. He might, but
yeah,
I don't think that'll happen.
Talking about Santa Cruz, I think he said he was willing to do a rematch with I forgot who he fought.
Man,
I'm tired of him. He needs to fight more people.
I don't even want to hear about Santa Cruz, man. The guy has had the WBA belt for I don't know how many years. Like, good fighter, like exciting, but
yeah. So he's just fighting to keep it though. He's just fighting to keep it. He's just fighting to keep it. Then he's not fighting to fight the best. More talented fighters.
No, not at all. Listen, Pops, I'm going to end the live soon, but I'm going to get to this last comment right here, and then we're going to end the live. But shout out to my guy, Milton Doobie. He says, Andrade versus Beterbiev with the winner getting Canelo Bivol winner. What are your thoughts on that? I would like the fight. My only thing would be is, Andrade's a 60-pounder. He has never had a fight at 68, let alone 75. So jumping up 2 weight classes would be tough. But, hey, if that's something he wants to look into doing, why not? It'd be a good fight. I think that'd be an incredibly, incredibly difficult fight for Andre because Beterbiev can box. He can punch with both hands, and he's a great finisher. I mean, nobody's ever made it out the distance with him. So if you're trying to get a Canelo fight, I mean, that could be a way to go. But, there's no guarantees that you'll get a fight even if you beat Beterbiev. Right. Okay. So
it's up to you. If you got any announcements or anything, or you want to end it?
Oh, yeah. Tomorrow, I think, tomorrow is the Shakur Stevenson Valdez face-off at the MGM Grand. I'm not sure. I think I'll be going. I'm not sure if I'm going yet, but I think I should be able to go because I think it's public. So I think I'll be going to that tomorrow. Yeah? No? Probably not. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know what the situation on that is, but even if I don't go to that, there's plenty of gyms here in Vegas. I'll be going to different gyms, and sure. There's a couple of fighters that I want to hit up for some interviews to do on on a live soon. So I'm gonna get to that real soon, and just putting out content. Taking it day by day and talking that boxing. Giving people the great boxing content they want to see.
That's it. Well, thank you everybody for being here. Hit that like button, and thank you.
You got any final thoughts? You got any final thoughts, Pops?
Yeah, just thank everybody for being here and making this live interesting. If they have any ideas or other fighters they want us to talk about, they can bring it to the live too.
Absolutely, bro. On that note, guys, we're going to end the live. You guys take care. God bless. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.